Good morning, and thank you for joining us for this installment of APDA Northwest Take Control program. Wanted to introduce myself. I am Jean Allenbach. I am the Regional Director at American Parkinson's Disease Association. I've been here for about 7 years, just over 7 years, loving every minute of it. I was the Executive Director of the Northwest Chapter, and now am working in a regional role, but still out of the Northwest Chapter. Thank you so much for coming here today. We're really excited to welcome Dr. Apurva Zawar to the series. She's going to talk about the use of digital technologies in managing Parkinson's disease. Before I introduce Dr. Zawar, I wanted to share some expectations with you of the program. The program will be about an hour long, including time for Q&A. You can pose a question at any time by finding the Q&A function at the bottom of your screen. So make sure you find the Q&A, not the chat, because Dr. Zawar can only see the Q&A part. So if you can make sure questions get in there, that would be wonderful. And we'll have some time at the end to answer them. The program is being recorded and will be available on the APDA Northwest YouTube channel next week. And we'll be sending out a post-event email with a link as well to share the slides that you'll see here today. In addition to that, on January 27th will be our next Take Control program with Dr. Kamani, and it's on levodopa, your myths, facts, and your questions answered. So that'll be a great one. Again, January 27th with Dr. Kamani, and so look for your post-event email with that information. So as you know, APDA is the largest grassroots network dedicated to providing programs and services to the Parkinson's community, increasing public awareness and knowledge about PD as a major health crisis, and we invest in research designed to find effective treatments and ultimately a cure for Parkinson's disease. We are in the middle of our end of the year giving campaign. So if you enjoy these types of programs that we provide and are in a financial position to do so, please consider supporting APDA in your year-end giving. That's why we can do all these programs for free. And now I am pleased to introduce you to Dr. Apurva Zawar. Dr. Zawar is a passionate neurological physical therapist, educator, and mentor. She owns and practices at Beyond Rehab, a digital neuro rehab and wellness clinic covering California, Massachusetts, and Washington. Additionally, she's a board-certified geriatric clinical specialist with expertise in managing movement disorders, persistent pain care. She received her master's from MGH, IHP, and Doctor of Physical Therapy from Neuro Recovery Training Institute. She has worked across various rehab settings in the U.S. and with a highly expert multidisciplinary teams in treating neurological conditions. Her primary focus of work involves serving and managing complex care conditions such as Parkinson's disease, functional movement disorders, and chronic pain through integrative care approach. She strives to provide an intensive total body to fitness, rehabilitation, and wellness. You can learn more about her practice at www.beyondrehab.health, and we will put that in the chat for you. Again, we'll take questions at the end of the program. And with that, here is Dr. Zawar.
Hello, everyone. It's just putting this together. Thank you, Jean, for the introduction. And so happy to meet everyone and present this topic. So good morning. Hope everyone's having a good start of the day. So today I'll be talking about leveraging the use of digital technology for managing Parkinson's disease. So as Jean said, my primary specialty area is working more with Parkinson's disease population and movement disorder, and also digital health spectrum. So Today's talk will be dividing it into three segments. So the first segment will be understanding the technology-enabled care for PD. What does that mean? What are the benefits of technology-enabled care for PD management? Then diving deep into the PD-specific digital application, right from the mobile apps, wearable devices, telemedicine, and lastly, we'll look into the ways you can implement all of these tools in your daily routine and how you can make it more dynamic and also have these new set of tools which are easily accessible. So let's get started. Parkinson's disease, as we all know, Parkinson's disease is a progressive neurodegenerative disorder presenting with a mix of motor and non-motor symptoms. Motor symptoms including right from bradykinesia, tremors, rigidity, resting tremor, and non-motor including cognitive impairment, behavioral disturbance, sleep disorder, and autonomic dysfunction. So as you know, the PD requires an ongoing multidisciplinary care management to improve the quality of life. So it's really, really important to have like a strong resources team and a community support in order to effectively manage and improve and enhance the quality of life. So what are the key challenges while of managing Parkinson's disease? It's primarily tracking and monitoring symptoms, managing medication and treatment regimens, accessing support and resources, and maintaining physical and cognitive functions. So these are the key areas where there is more room where individuals can have more support, more resources in order to advance their care management and also make it more efficient. So that's the reason we are going to talk about the technology enabled care. As you all have heard, like there are so many digital apps, smartphones, watches out there, and it's easily available. So how do you use it? How do you make the most out of it? So primarily the technology enabled care refers to the use of digital tools such as smartphones, wearable devices, and telemedicine to support and enhance healthcare. So it includes the range of devices, range of applications which we all have access to. It's just how do you make the most use of it? So, what are the benefits? Looking into the benefits of digital technology before we learn about each of it is also important. So, with the help of digital technology, it's easier to actively manage the condition, with the help of the objective data, with the help of the tracking functionality. It gives you more accurate information about your symptom presentation, your medication response, how's your overall lifestyle, including stress, sleep cycle, exercise, and other contextual factors. And also, the available information through the digital devices will help you effectively collaborate with your medical team on making the right decisions for change in plan, symptom management, short term and long term management. And also, it's easier, more efficient for enhancing enhancing your knowledge, having more access to the support system, social support. So one of the good examples of digital technology, what we are doing right now is the virtual session, right? With the digital tools, the digital access, we all are able to gather together, share and learn from each other. So this is how the world and how the care plan is advancing towards. So digital enabled care tools. So they are primarily into four segments. So the mobile apps. So apps that can be downloaded to a smartphone or tablet to track symptoms and manage medication and access education and support. There are a range of mobile apps, right from Parkinson's Relief, Strive PD, and many more. I'll be talking further about it. There are a couple websites like Patients Like Me, which facilitate self-tracking and provides more information. Wearable devices are the ones which can be worn on the body and used to track physical activity, sleep, and other important metrics. Lastly, telemedicine. the use of technology such as video conferencing to connect with healthcare providers remotely, like telehealth visits. So looking into the mobile apps, right, there are tons and tons of there are like a big list of mobile apps which are out, but primarily for Parkinson's disease care there are three important categories which can be helpful. So the first category of apps is symptom tracking and medication management. Second is exercise and rehabilitation. Third is mindfulness and stress management. So these are the three primary domains where particular apps will be helpful for you to track your symptoms, help you improve your exercise program, and also help you uh, work on your autonomic regulation with the help of mindfulness and stress management. Now, I'd like to ask you, what are the common apps you use for your Parkinson's disease care? Are you familiar with any of the symptom tracker or medication management apps, exercise and rehab related apps, or mindfulness app? If yes, please um, answer. The poll is open now. Nice. So looks like everyone's familiar with mindfulness, and like a majority of, not everyone, like a good like 30% of individuals are familiar with mindfulness and exercise related app, and also symptom tracker. So I'll be doing more sharing and talking about different apps so everyone can be more familiar with it now. Thank you. So the first one is symptom tracking and medication management. So one of the versatile app which is getting more popular these days, and it's well recognized by the medical community and also is being FDA cleared, is Strive PD. So Strive PD is a versatile app. It helps you right from symptom tracking, medication management. It helps you with your daily log, how you feeling, how's your day, and also helps you communicate with your care provider. So it the Strive PD also has an option. It's a free app. You can download it from your app store, and also you can link it with the Apple Watch. With the help of Apple Watch, it helps you. It tracks your tremors and uncontrolled body movements, like more of the dyskinesia movements. So it's something worth looking into. The second one is APDA symptom tracker. If you just want, simple, it's very straightforward. So all you can do is um, track your symptoms, track your medication. If you have any questions related to any of your care team members, you can just put it down. And also there's a resource and library, uh, resources available to you, which you can select and read it, listen, whatever works best. The second is Parkinson's disease manager. It's similar. It also helps you track and helps you with medication management. And the last one is Parkinson's Life Kit. It's a paid app and it has more multiple features. So these are the common apps which are used for primarily for symptom tracking and medication management. So as I was talking about the Strive PD, so the Strive PD is an app designed specially to help individuals with Parkinson's disease manage their conditions and improve overall health and well-being. So as you see, first it helps you with your regular daily check-in, how you're doing. It will give you an option to set up your medication schedule and also have your daily goals. You can have like a daily, weekly goals and have reminders, so it will remind you every regularly. uh, Secondly, if you have an option of linking it with the Apple Watch, it will give you more accurate data about your tremors, about your dyskinesia, and your activity level. Secondly, it will also help you log your symptoms. If you are how your symptom presentation, what are the medication you're taking, how's your overall lifestyle, your food, sleep, activity. A note section where you can just write down any subjective information which you like, or documentation which you like to add to share with your team or just for reference. And lastly, drawing test. It's just for the fine coordination. It has an option where you can just do like a round circles and see how see your coordination, see your accuracy while you're tracing it. So this is the wide range of features offered by the Strive PD, and it's completely free. So it's accessible both on Android and on Apple. Uh, it's optional if you have Apple Watch. It helps you further, accurately measure and record your tremors and dyskinesia information. Second, moving on to the exercise and the rehabilitation app. So there are a range of apps available. One of the few recognized ones, again, this list is not exhaustive, but just the few important ones which I was able to look into was CogniFit. It's a cognitive fitness platform where you can work on your different cognitive functions, memory, problem solving, mental planning, and it has a scoring system. So based on that, you can gauge a good information about your progress and which level you are and how you want to advance. Similarly, Patna AI, it helps you with the tremor analysis. So again, it's free. All you have to do is have it on and use the mobile device to record it. And based on the information available, you can share it with your provider and also use it as a baseline information. The last one is Beats Medical Parkinson's. It has different options for mobility, dexterity, and speech. So based on your goals, you can accordingly focus on training and working on each of the components. And the last one is Study My Tremor. It's more of the research-based application. So if any of your providers are a part of it, or if they're interested, or if you're interested in and analyzing your tremor, then that's something worth looking into. Study My Tremor. So, and the last category is mindfulness and stress management. So Headspace and the Calm app is one of the most common ones. They have some limited options, limited features where you can have like a free access, and after a certain point, you have to have like a paid version. So look into it and see if that's something benefits you. It's really fun way to engage and relax and practice mindfulness. And the last one is Down Dog. It offers a range of yoga options which you can easily access from the comfort of your home. Based on your choices, you can select different combination and practice it. So these are the range of apps available. So now the second part is wearable devices. So smartwatches, right? It's the era of smartwatches. Everyone owns one. It's understanding what are their importance and how can they help you. So there are several of them. So few of the key ones are our Apple Watch is one of the most recognized one for specifically for Parkinson's disease symptom monitor, because it has inbuilt motion sensors which helps you to monitor symptoms of tremors and dyskinesia. And also it helps you with medication use, adverse changes, outcome measures, and also sleep, mobility, fall detection, and heart rate variation. Again, it's linked with the Strive PD app, which I was talking about. So it will help you give and record more accurate information. The second one is Garmin Vivo Move. It's a smartwatch that tracks movements and sleep patterns, as well as offers stress management resources. It has the fall detection feature. Fitbit Sense. Fitbit Sense is a smartwatch that tracks daily activity and stress level. Again, it has a fall detection feature. A Mesh Fit is it also has pretty much the same components. So these are the four different smartwatches which have been most commonly used um, by the group. So now I'd like to ask if you do use any of the smartwatches for tracking your daily activities and PD care. Uh, Please answer in the poll. Oh, nice. So looks like 33% of you use Apple Watch. Great. Fitbit sensors used by a small percentage. And also there's like, as I said, there's like many smartwatches options available. So there are like others section like 54% use other watches. We'll love to hear later about it. Thank you. Also, there's like one wearable device, more like Parkinson's kinetograph. It's a mobile app and wearable device combination that tracks movement pattern in people with Parkinson's. The app provides a range of tools for tracking symptoms, managing medication, and accessing educational resources and support. However, this is not available for purchase. It can be only uh, it can be only offered through clinic. So it's still not yet out in public. But if your neurologist or any of your providers are affiliated or are working with them, then you might be able to access it or have that option open. Lastly, telemedicine. So right after pandemic, everyone started getting more familiar with telemedicine, how effective and convenient it is for individuals and the medical professionals to connect and to work, to connect and work and um, see each other remotely without the hassle of traveling, and it's super easily accessible. So, and it's growing, right? Like right from 2020, there's a gradual rise in the use of telemedicine adoption. So I'd like to ask, what's your preferred mode for medical or rehab visits? Do you prefer telemedicine visit, in person, or hybrid? I'd like you all to answer it, please. Nice. So looks like there's a 50-50 breakup between in person and hybrid. I like it. Great. So now moving on to the key portion. So how do you implement the use of digital health technology in your daily routine, right? Like there are like a long list of resources and there's like new and new digital tools and devices coming out, but how do you put it into action? So that's what I'm going to cover now. So one of the big goals for implementing the use of digital health tool is to use the personal digital health tools to self track and self experiment to effectively self manage and mitigate the symptoms of PD. So the first step, so I like everyone to do this exercises with me. So you'll have like towards the end of the session, you'll have a good idea of which resources which you like to use or download or work on. So the first step is identify the current challenges in managing your Parkinson's disease and which area would you like to seek the support for managing your care. So uh, the key ones is, do you see like it there's a fluctuating PD symptoms you have trouble with medication issue, you have decreased adherence with the home exercise programs, or you need more support with the exercise program, see which is the key area which you like to seek support in managing your care. So following identifying that, if you think, probably all three of them, great. If you think just one, then, you can point it down. Followed by that, now looking into the mobile list for each category, right? And select the most relevant based on your user friendliness of the app and the ease of navigating the technology. So if you think you need more support with regards to exercise programs, so there are different apps which I've highlighted before, and I'll be sharing the list with you later. So you can look into the list and see if you can, download, and how does the app feature looks to you. If it's something if it's something user friendly and you think you are ready to download it or work on it, then that's the second step which I'd like you to do. Followed by, like, the third is wearable device selection. I see, like, majority of you do have a wearable device, but the others, if you are looking into selecting one, then seeing what are the options. So, right, like, is it Apple Watch, Garmin, Fitbit, Amazfit? So you can just look into all these range of options and see what's your preference. It's something, are you like an Apple user, Android user, or you just need something lightweight, easy to handle, like, so you can compare between these devices and see which one would you like to select. And if you already have one, then you can look into what are the features which the smartwatches offer. How can you check your daily vitals? How can you check your fitness? Where can you access all this information? So you can dive deep into those individual components. And the fourth step is connecting with your medical team. So, if you're using any of these devices, smartphone application, making sure you communicate with your medical team and share the weekly, monthly reports, and or any of the fluctuating pattern along with your, subjective information. So this will give a good information about how your performance looks like on a daily basis, on a weekly basis, and what's the change in the trend. What are the contextual factors, what are the factors affecting your performance. So that will help to have like a more clear picture of your performance at home. So make sure to communicate with your medical team about all of this information, how which devices you're using, how's your performance, and what if there's any fluctuating patterns, and how the lifestyle factors influencing your daily performance. So this will help you with care planning, changing medication alteration, and also helping you improve your performance. So that's really important. The last step is also making sure you are able to access the online resources, both the support groups and the educational resources. So I know, like, many of the organizations have regular meetups, regular support groups. So look into it and see which ones you like to be a part of. And similarly with the educational resources, there are many websites which offers resources. So if you're already familiar with it, great. If not, then you can look into it and see how you can use the available information. Now, moving on to the virtual reality and the gaming section. So this was like the 5-step process. First, understanding the challenges, then going into selecting the app, selecting the wearable devices. And once you make a choice of using the apps and the wearable devices, making sure you make a complete circle by regularly tracking your performance, your lifestyle routine, and also your PD specific routine, PD specific performance, and communicating the information with your team, and making sure if there is any alteration, is there any changes needs to be done, it's put in action. So that's how it will help you effectively self track, self experiment, and improve your overall performance and movement pattern function. So that's how the technology can be helpful, can be a guide to help you manage and manage your care. So the last thing which I'll be covering today will be virtual reality and games. So you might have heard there are like now range of available games and activities which can be easily accessible online, and it can be a fun way to keep up with your daily physical and cognitive exercises. It lifts your mood and it overall improves your well-being. So what are these physical games and exercises option looks like? So first of all, the physical games and exercises can help you improve balance, coordination, physical strength, and mobility. There are a range of options, right from dancing games, exercises, programs, which can be done at a regular beat, which like you can have like a couple different options where you have like a metronome set up at a certain pace, and you have to follow the exercise or the movement pattern in the same sequence. That will challenge your coordination balance level. Online yoga or tai chi classes is also easily accessible, so that can be a good way to do it. The second domain is more of the cognitive games and activities such as crossword puzzles, brain teasers, and which can improve cognitive function and reduce the risk of cognitive decline. So, uh, one of the best way to do the cognitive games and activity is when you are doing any of your endurance training. More like if you're doing like a recumbent biking or um, mm, just doing treadmill walking, something which you're very familiar with, endurance training or any of the strength training, and you add these cognitive games, you have like a good setup. So making sure you are able to assess the setup and your safety first, and if you get a chance to add these cognitive games to be included as a part of your endurance training, will help you with dual tasking. As we all know, dual tasking is really, really important when it comes to challenging yourself with the Parkinson's um, disease care. So think about what are the ways, what are the regular routine exercises which you do at home, and if there's a room where you can do the combination of both endurance and cognitive games, then that will be great. Followed by that, virtual reality. So you might have heard like virtual reality is has been a long time. It's been the use and adoption is rapidly increasing amongst all age group. So it's one of the fun way and very useful tool for individuals with Parkinson's, and it can provide a safe and controlled environment for practicing balance, coordination, and other physical skills. So one of the big challenge is setting it up. So if that's something you're interested in, I'll suggest have a talk with your rehab professional and see what are the exercise programs they are recommending you, and what can what are the key games which you can use uh, to practice on any of your prescribed exercises at home using virtual reality. So uh, the have a talk with your rehab professional and see if that if you can create a program around using virtual reality for keeping up with your home exercise program. uh, that can be one option, and if you think you just want to start somewhere and see how it goes, so probably there are good range of apps which you can download and you know um, use and see how it goes. So the three categories, the prime categories are balance and coordination exercises. So there are VR games which can be specifically used to target your balance and coordination. So looking into it and making sure while you do it, you are safe and you have support and you have like a good setup, so it's safe and secured. Second, cognitive games. And lastly, the physical therapy exercises. So VR games that involve physical therapy exercises such as stretching, strengthening can be easily practiced through a VR platform. So now I'd like you to ask the last poll for the day. Do you use virtual reality or any games for your daily fitness or home exercise program? I'd like to get the poll started. Okay, so this is something looks like a new area. So definitely, you can start with just the simple apps, like the gaming apps, which you can download it on your iPad or on your phone, and see how it goes. And if it's something interests you, then the second step will be looking into the virtual reality options. It's a it's a fun activity to do and continue working on your exercise program, especially in the winter time, because we all are inside and that can be more fun and dynamic. Thank you. So that was all, like it right from the wearable devices, smartphone applications and gaming, which we can use for tracking, monitoring, and keeping up with our exercise regimen. So that's all from the virtual from my end, but I'll be open to answering the questions and talking more about each of these topics now. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Zawar. I'm sure we have lots of questions about this. There's a few in the Q&A right now. One question came in: is telemedicine across state lines a problem if the provider is not licensed in the patient's state?
Yes. So, in order for you to have a telemedicine visit with any of the doctor, the provider needs to be licensed in your state where you're located.
And so you're licensed in 3 states?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. And then another person asked, are there any digital resources for PD and cancer? So beyond just PD?
So it depends upon the symptoms and your like what are your key symptoms and challenges. So if you think sleep is an issue, if you're not able to have like a good sleep cycle, then looking into resources which will help you with sleep monitoring. Mindfulness training can be one of the good options. So not specifically, but more based on your symptoms and presentation, you'll be able to select the digital resources. So I'll suggest probably looking into the mindfulness and stress management option and see how it helps with the autonomic regulation.
Great, thank you. Another question came in: any online programs to improve handwriting?
There are a couple. I'll share in the follow-up links. So it's there used to be one steady writing or steady speak, but then it got discontinued. So the one of the easiest one is like there are certain devices which can be worn on your wrist, and that can help you stabilize while you're writing. So the external devices can be helpful with the handwriting option. And with the app wise, there is like a steady write app. I'll double check on that, but something named Steady Right. Yeah.
Steady Right. Okay, wonderful. Thank you so much. Let's see. Another question that we have is for someone that's older that is not used to using a lot of technology, is the Apple Watch and an Apple user, is the Apple Watch something that is worth it just for the simple tracking, automatic tracking that
Yes.
it does?
Yes, if you think, you can have an Apple Watch purchase, so definitely having an Apple Watch on and using the Strive PD application on the smartphone, together it will give you a good report of how your performance is both like PD specific performance like tremors, dyskinesia, and also your overall lifestyle, like how's your fitness routine, how's your sleep cycle, um, in general, how's your mood. So together it will give a good picture of your daily performance, both to you for yourself and also for the medical team. And it's pretty easy to use. It takes couple days to get used to, and making sure you're looking into the app, but it's all doable, and straightforward, step by step. Yeah.
But if you just wear the watch, will
Mhm.
it'll just track things? Is that correct?
Yes,
Okay,
it
great.
will
I'm
automatically track
asking.
it.
My mother was diagnosed after 7 years of working at APDA. My mother was diagnosed with Parkinson's last year
I
at
see.
88. And technology is not good, but I love the idea of that's something that will track, and then I can look at it and see how she's doing too and share it with the
Yeah.
doctor.
And the goal, once you have it, it's to wear as long as you can. So that will give you more accurate information.
Yeah, and also that it has that fall detection. She has a fall detection
Mhm.
necklace, but doesn't always wear it. So I like that.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Sure.
What things do you recommend for people with the later stages of PD?
So for the later stage of PD, first of all, like making sure your home safety. So if you can use some like fall detection sensors or any of those for in-home setup. So making sure you have like a safe environment. Followed by if you can have any of the simple wearable device or smartwatches which has this fall detection feature, so just in case if any fall or anything happens, you have like an alert system going on to your contacts, and you have like a good connection. So that can be important when it comes first with regards to safety. The second is looking into more of the home appliances which can be helpful, like more of the hands-free mode options, if you think like easily, which you can like now there's like smart home feature available where you can have like temperature regulation. It's more convenient, so that can be more on the generic level. um, and with regards to disease, it can be, if you can have like any of the smart symptom tracking options open, just to see, you can have that app and see how efficient it is for you to use. So that can be one other way. So just a note, if at times, if it, when you're using the app and if you feel it's a lot of work just to type any or just to check mark, there's also an option of hands-free mode. So you can just speak out and it will record it. So that is also convenient. So um, self-tracking makes a difference, and helps you better evaluate your progress and accordingly make changes.
Wonderful. Thank you. Thank you. Do you have any recommendations on the VR headsets and apps that are good for PD?
So Meta Quest is one of the most popular one these days, and also Sony has one. So this can be the two top ones which you can look into.
Great. And another question came in, is it worth it for a spouse to track symptoms on his or her phone?
Yeah, I mean, depends. Like, if you are like very closely watching and have like a um, good dynamic, like good access and observation, then yeah, if that can be also one of the options.
Okay. And another question back about the VR is any games or apps you can suggest?
Uh, so there are many apps based on like few are paid, few are unpaid, and depending upon what's your goal, what you like to work. So accordingly, you can select the app. So once you purchase a certain device, like Meta Quest has a list of apps, Sony has a different list of apps. So you can compare, and you can like look into it and see what's relevant to you. it's a broad range. It's hard for me to narrow it down.
All right. I think you kind of answered this before, but someone had a question. What if your PD is so advanced you have trouble using keyboards or a phone? So you talked briefly about devices that you can talk to versus having to type.
Uh-huh. Yeah. So definitely like I know like the Strive PD has an option where you can talk to add any of your symptoms or any of the recording um, just on the hands-free mode. So that can be one of the convenient option, easy option. And yeah, and like a few of the other features can be automatically recorded if you're using any of the wearable devices, and then you'll have a report generated at the end of the day or at the end of the week.
Okay, great. Let's see. Someone asked if there was a good keyboard for an iPad that is better for people with PD.
I'm not like not familiar with this, but I'll suggest if like hands-free mode, if that's an option for you, you can just speak and let the device record it, type it for you. That can be a good way to start with, and I can get back on this keyboard option.
Wonderful. I use my hands-free device in doing texts and emails and everything with my iPhone all the time. I don't know what I would do without being able to talk my messages in.
Yeah, it's so fast, right? Like it goes
It's
pretty
so
fast.
helpful. I'm a slow typer on a phone. Do you have any comments on the Oura Smart Ring?
Yeah, it's a really one of the most popular device. So it can help you track your heart rate variability. So heart rate variability is a measure of measure to track how is your autonomic nervous system is working, how's your heart rate variability looks like depending on the number. The higher the number, the better it is. So with the help of the Aura device, you'll be able to record the heart rate variability. You'll be able to track your sleep and even temperature. So it has like pretty cool features which are not typically offered, like not that accurate with the other devices. So it's a cool one to explore.
Great. Someone asked if there are any Android watches that work as good as an Apple Watch.
Garmin is one of them. Garmin, Vivo Move, even Fitbit. Fitbit has a good many of the good features, and it won't help you with like the PD symptom tracking, like more of the tremor or dyskinesia, but it will help you with the regular fitness, diet, and sleep cycle monitoring. Fitbit Sense and even Amazfit is a good one.
Great. And let's see. And then we get a couple, we got a time for a few more. Can you recommend a software that does voice recognition for a home desktop PC?
Okay, software. Not sure of that. I'll be able to get back to that on this question later.
Great. And then as someone said, voice to text programs are difficult for people who are speech impaired. Difficult hand movements make manual input difficult as well. Are there larger on-phone keyboards?
I see. I was reading somewhere like there are certain apps like voice to text apps specifically for Parkinson's group. So I'll share that list. I don't remember on top of my head right now, but there are something in development going on.
All right, I'm writing the larger keyboards idea down too. If not, our phone maker should get on that.
Yeah.
All right. What data would be helpful for someone if they had an Apple Watch? I think, I know it's the fitness tracking, the symptom, the tracking dyskinesia and tremors, the fall detection. Is there what else, other information would be helpful?
So even like it helps you track your medication regimen. So, it will help you track your on phase. How was your performance on phase and during the on phase and the off phase? And how is it over the course of time? So that can give a good trend of how effective is your medication regimen, your lifestyle factors, and overall performance. So that will be
Right.
important.
So you put your medication, the time you take it in,
Uh-huh.
you enter that in, and then it just knows what your symptoms have been like since you took your medicine.
Yes.
That is very handy. Is there a study that can use the data to help give help to researchers?
I think so. The Strive PD, once you sign up for Strive PD app along with the use of Apple Watch, they have like a study going on. So that will be helpful for the researchers.
Oh, great. Any way to stabilize? Do you have any ideas on how to stabilize a computer mouse?
I know there are like some ergonomic mouse available. So maybe trying it out and seeing if that makes any difference. If not, then like looking into some piece of like a like just like a weighted or like more of a thick clothing and putting it on the mouse and see if that changes, if that makes any difference.
Great. And then we just got a comment. Jen Gillick, our program director, who usually hosts this, is home with a very bad cold and cough. That's why she is not here on with you, but she's on in the chat. So she said Steady Mouse. She thinks that's what it's called. It's a software. So you might want to look into that too. And I know one of our OT people had suggested putting a wrist weight or something on your wrist, and it helps. It helps with your tremoring when you're using a mouse.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Okay, we answered. Sorry, I'm reading them. I'm not sure. This one says voice banking with any of these apps. Not sure what voice banking is.
Voice banking, yeah. I haven't like looked
You're
into
on still and you asked that question, feel free to type in more information so we can answer that one for you. And the link for that Steady Mouse is in the chat. And again, Jen Gillick, our program director, and the team here at APDA Northwest is fantastic at being able to answer questions and resources. We've done a lot of these programs over time, and I just wanted to, let you know that you are free to email us, give us a call. We may not have all the answers, but she is probably one of the most knowledgeable people in the organization when it comes to different resources and things available. And that's what we're here for. So I think we've gotten through all of our questions, unless anyone has anything else. But I just wanted to thank everyone for coming here, and we will be following up again with information. There's going to be a exit survey when you finish. If you could please share your honest feedback with us about the program, we would love to hear from you. A big, huge thanks to Dr. Zawar for answering all our questions and all your insights. A reminder, the slides will be sent to you, as well as information about our next Take Control session coming up on Friday, January 27th, where we'll welcome back Dr. Pravin Kamani to talk about levodopa myths, facts, and your questions answered. A little bit about that. Since 1960, levodopa has been the mainstay treatment for PD and is the most prescribed medication for PD. Yet, despite the research and the general support from Parkinson's community, there are many myths that surround the use of levodopa. In this talk, Dr. Kamani will address these myths, talk about levodopa in its various forms, and address levodopa intolerance. He will also take your questions. And again, if you have enjoyed this program and have the ability to do so, we're in the middle of our end of year giving campaign. If you would like to donate, we would love to accept your donation. And for those of you that donated when you registered for this program, thank you very much. Thanks for joining us. And thanks again, Dr. Zawar. And we hope you have a happy holiday season and a great rest of your day.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. Bye.